CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl XXIV is sponsored by Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. Diet Coke. Federal Express, the best way to ship it over there. And by AT&T, the right choice.
You know, today car prices are like a yo-yo. Up one day, down the next. And maybe it's our fault. Chrysler invented the rebate, and the car business hasn't been the same since. Even I'm a little confused. That's why we introduced a guaranteed rebate. If our rebate goes up during this model year, we'll pay you the difference. And you must like it. Chrysler's having the biggest January in its history. So we're extending the guaranteed rebate until February 28th on every car, pickup, and Jeep we build. And on top of that, we'll pay you $50 to test drive our products against anybody else's. Whether you buy ours or theirs, you win either way. But you know, rebates, guarantees, test drives aside, maybe the best thing I've ever done for you is put a driver's side airbag in every car we build in the U.S. Now that's a difference you can live with, and so can I.
All you need to know about do-it-yourself projects is your neighborhood True Value hardware store. Turn on the beautiful polished brass Master Plumber faucet with 2 sets of handles, or enjoy the convenience of this single-handle chrome faucet. This Master Plumber high-rise kitchen faucet is great for large pots and pans. Or for one-handed use, get this single lever faucet. All Master Plumber faucets are backed by a 10-year limited warranty at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
I want to sell top secrets.
First, he sold out his country.
It's a straight business deal. You want it or not.
Then he sold out his family.
You're a spy for the Russians.
One member at a time.
There won't be anybody saying anything about spying to anyone, will there?
He bullied his wife.
You need a drink, don't you, babe?
And seduced his children.
Like a mafia family, like in The Godfather.
Into betraying their country.
Did your father recruit you in his espionage operation?
Yes, he did.
You have reason to believe your son, Michael Walker, is involved in espionage.
The incredible true story of the man behind the most damaging spy ring in our nation's history.
Is Michael working for you or not?
A major television event spanning 2 unforgettable nights.
The minute you quit, you're more valuable to him dead.
I'd like the number of the FBI.
Well, you make sure you get him alive.
Powers Booth. Leslie Ann Warren. Family of Spies, beginning next Sunday.
I think the music wound down some time ago on the Denver Broncos, 27-3, and what a spectacular role by the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs. This was their margin at halftime against Minnesota. Against Los Angeles, it was 21-3, and now they are closing in on back-to-back Super Bowl championships. And joining me at halftime, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, Mike Ditka, and Terry Bradshaw, one of our analysts.
Well, I just say it. Just say what you were saying.
I guess what you're trying to say is so much for my job as a prognosticator, but I'm telling you this.
Say it.
It's not over till it's over. How about that cliche?
That's terrible. That's the worst.
Let's take a look, though, at how the 49ers fashioned this margin. And I'll tell you, they make it look so easy, don't they? Mike, what about this TD pass?
Well, the first TD pass, what he's trying to do, he's trying to go one way. They took it away from him. Rice kept working over the middle. Atwater did a terrible job of trying to tackle, and that's what happens.
Yeah, you know, Terry, and the coach, John Madden, he was making a point over there that you shut down a Rice or you stop a running back, and up comes a Brent Jones, a tight end, and he got another touchdown pass from Montana.
Well, the one thing you have to understand, the 5 receivers for the 49ers all caught over 50 passes. And one thing, Jones, the little play-action misdirection with the option with Montana outside to run or throw. But who do you double? Who do you triple? How do you do it? And with 5 people with that kind of power, it makes it very difficult for a defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips.
Hey, Terry, I know what a lot of football fans are thinking, even Mike. How would your great Pittsburgh Steelers team have made out against these 49ers?
Well, that's not fair.
What do you mean it's not fair?
Okay, all right.
I want the truth.
Our best Steeler team we'd beat this team. Our defense was awesome, and we would play them and we would play them as like they've never seen before. And we ran the ball 60 and threw it 40, but when we threw it, we attacked safeties. The Broncos in the first half tried to go deep. They've given up now. They've come back short, but their real weapons are deep, and the 49ers are taking them away. But we would be a team that would really, with our balance, we could beat this 49er team. What are you smiling about?
Well, I tell you what, I was a part of that era. I saw the great Pittsburgh teams. I have a tendency to think that Pittsburgh's defense was as good a football team as I've ever seen. Now, their offense was also good, but I mean, they're complementing each other so well. It would have been a great game.
Mike, we want to show a drop pass by the Broncos in the first half. Now, is it because Elway's throwing the ball too hard, or the receiver's not concentrating? What's going on?
Well, that's a cop-out. He doesn't. No quarterback throws the ball too hard. If you're a receiver, catch the ball. If he throws it soft, you catch it. He throws it hard, you catch it. They haven't had this problem all year or for the rest of his career. I think what's happening there's a little footsteps being heard. I think Mr. Lott has left his calling card on the doorstep, and a few people remember if they catch it, they're going to take the thump.
Terry, you had a couple of great wide receivers, really, and Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Jerry Rice, which one does he remind you of? How does he compare with the two?
Well, Rice doesn't have the leaping ability of a Swann. And then the other guy, Stallworth, has the competitive speed that a Jerry Rice has. People don't realize how fast Stallworth was. Both Swann and Stallworth very fast. The two of them complement. They mix a little bit of Rice in all of them. But the thing that neither one of them, I think, had, and I certainly know they're watching, but Rice is strong. And he's able to hit, bounce off, and go 70 yards. And my guys were beautiful route runners. Beautiful route runners, very smart, and use their hands well. But here's the little pump, a little action, and you're trying to stop Rice. You work on it. You talk about it all week long. We're going to stop him, double team him. And what has he caught in the first half? I think it's 2 touchdown passes.
But still, that's a double zone right there. That safety's got to be in better position than that. And I'm not picking on the safety. I'm just telling you, if you're playing double zone, he's played a bad double zone right there.
Pumped left, though. Rice came to the left side, so the off safety wasn't paying any attention.
Well, he could pump to the other guy all day long. You better be looking at Rice.
Now, we're going to come back and hear from our two experts on what the Broncos might be able to do in the second half, but we've also got a big halftime spectacular coming your way right after these messages from your local stations.
In their new CBS series, Grand Slam, these guys do everything together.
Well, we don't do everything together, but we're partners.
We are not.
Can you describe him?
Black.
Blonde.
We're a couple of tough guys.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get this thing fixed. Big time bounty hunter.
Now, even though we do carry guns,
we're not the Heat.
But we do like it hot.
Grand Slam premieres tonight, so stick around. And now, the dream is a reality. Where the pros are stars and the stars play like pros. The AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. The greatest show above Earth. The NBA All-Star Game. 500 miles of NASCAR's hottest wheels. The Daytona 500. All this year, experience CBS Sports 90. The dream season.
This is CBS.
I see you chose Ford Taurus over all the imports.
No contest.
Was it because Taurus is one of America's 10 best values?
No.
All the equipment, cruise control, power locks, AM, FM, cassette?
No.
Okay, why Taurus?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Right now is the best time to buy your Ford Taurus. Get $1,000 cash back or 4.8% financing for 48 months. Drive the Midwest best-selling car, Ford Taurus.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
The nation hails a great American. The Big Twin is back at Hardee's, accompanied by new Crispy Curls fries. It's a classic taste with a new twist. Thousands cheer the big taste of 2 burgers, lettuce, cheese, and Big Twin sauce. Hundreds thrill at the specially seasoned Crispy Curls. Yes, America, the Big Twin is back, but only at Hardee's. And right now, you can get the Big Twin and new Crispy Curls for an incredible $1.99 plus tax. That's right, $1.99. So hurry to Hardee's.
Bruce Hurdle, Eyewitness Sports.
Well, it's hard to believe, but it's true. Charlie Brown is 40 years old. Creator Charles Schultz first put pen to paper way back in 1950, coming up with the Peanuts gang. Charlie, Lucy, Linus, Schroeder, and the world's most beloved beagle, Snoopy. Super Bowl 24 dedicates its halftime spectacular in a real New Orleans-style celebration to the comic strip characters we love.
Look at this! We're invited to celebrate our 40th birthday at the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're off to New Orleans.
Despy and Musburger Productions, in association with the National Football League, salutes 40 years of happiness.
Okay, everybody, let the good times roll. Kershaw.
Hey, diggy, diggy, line, diggy, diggy, low. Fell in love at the meadow. The pop was cold in the coffee show. But diggy, diggy, line, and diggy, diggy, low. Hey, diggy, diggy, line, love, diggy, diggy, low. And everyone knew he was her beau. Nobody else could ever show so much love for diggy, diggy, low. Himself a papa-in-law. He moved out where the bayou flow, and now he's got a little diggy-diggy low. Hey, diggy-diggy low, diggy-diggy low. And everyone knew he was her beau. Nobody else could ever show so much love for diggy-diggy low. the river, the beautiful, beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
The Soul Queen of New Orleans, Irma Thomas.
Oh, the river's slowly raging, and the waters deep wide, and the wind is swiftly blowing. I'm gonna get to the other side. Throws across around me, there is darkness in the night. See the thunder and the lightning flashing in the sky. Fear is all around me, and there's no way I can hide till we gather on the other side. Shall we gather? Oh, shall we gather? Oh, shall we gather? Gather on the other side. Oh, shall we gather? Oh, shall we gather? Gather on the other side.
Up the lazy river by the old mill pond, the lazy river, pretend to be song. Lying in the shade of a kind old tree, throw away your troubles, dream a dream with me. Up the lazy river, up the lazy river. Clear sky up above, everyone's in love. Up the lazy river, how happy we will be. Up the lazy river with me. Come on, let's sing and something along. Hear that music and song. Go get your best gown, real proud. Come down to the levee, I said to the levee. Come along and follow the band. They're the best in the land. There'll be a great time. Waiting on the levee, swinging on the property. Here comes the showboat, here comes the showboat. Coming along. My hand flying tails, he's feeling real swell. Coming along. When the showboat comes, there's no more fear and fun. We'll have a night of smiling faces, everyone. Here comes the showboat, here comes the showboat.
A national historical landmark celebrating 100 years of Mississippi River cruising, the steamboat Delta Queen. Mr. New Orleans, Pete Fountain.
A spectacular show from the Louisiana Superdome, and we will continue right after these messages from your local stations.
The world isn't getting smaller. It's getting closer. Now more than ever, turn to the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. You always know when it's CBS News.
This is CBS.
You chose Ford over Chevy.
Sure did.
Why? Because Ford has a more powerful engine for all the towing you do?
Yeah, but that's not why I bought it.
Because Ford has a longer, deeper box for all your hauling?
No.
The low price?
Nope.
Okay, why Ford over Chevy?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Ford F-150. Now's the time to buy. Get yours loaded with equipment and save over $2,400. Plus, get $750 cash back. Ford F-150.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Not just any company can design and build the world's best-selling business jets, but one can and does. And not every aircraft engineer has what it takes to see a project through, hands-on, every step of the way. But maybe you do. Right now, Cessna is looking for engineers who are looking for that kind of challenge. If that's you, call us now. Cessna, the excitement is building.
Gets it, misses, and wide over Gabrovich. Could have walked. Davis with the block and the shot, come down with it. And the foul is going by Dallas. Ross volley is in. What a shot.
What a shot. Great shot.
Deep towards left. Does it have enough? It is back to the wall. It is out.
In the world of sports, no one covers it like Bruce Hurtle and Malcolm Briggs on Eyewitness Sports.
You're watching KBS and Channel 12.
Well, the Super Bowl is fast becoming Joe Montana's personal showcase. Three touchdown passes he threw here in the first half. And as a result, the 49ers lead it easily, 27-3. He has hit Jerry Rice for 2 of those touchdowns in this game and tied in Brent Jones with the 3rd. This capped off the Niners' first drive. Steve Atwater, the rookie safety, hitting Rice up high. He ricocheted off on into the end zone, and this confirmed the worst fears of the Bronco coaching staff. Then John Elway's shovel pass batted back. He took an interception. It was his 3rd shovel pass of that series. And finally, Montana, who is 15 of 21 for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's having a spectacular playoff now in 3 games, 9 touchdown passes, and not a single interception. Okay, Mike and Terry, let's look ahead to the second half. You're looking at me like you look at me.
Well, I am. I'm looking at you because I wonder what you're talking about.
What exactly do you think the Broncos...
They won't quit, but, like Terry said, it's going to be awfully tough. I just would hope that they would stay with some of the things that they had planned earlier in the week when they went into the game, try to stay with them, make them work, maybe get John outside of the pocket a little bit. The running game is out the window, but the defense has to stop them somewhere along the way. And like Terry said, if they put Steve Young in, maybe they'll stop them.
Terry, you had some ideas.
2 things got to happen. I believe, number 1, the Broncos have to take the ball and they have to establish the deep passing lanes early and score quickly with the deep pass. Then, number 2, they have to come out and get a turnover and then capitalize in. Now, all of a sudden, momentum has built back up, and then they believe, hey, now this is what we thought we could do. They have no confidence right now. Try this. 0. No confidence. They say we don't have a prayer. Now they're only working on hope, and hope doesn't win games.
Now, what would Mike Ditka do inside? We know your ferocious temper. We have seen it on the sideline. In a Super Bowl game, you're really getting whipped. Would you have turned it loose on him? What would you do?
Well, you mean inside?
Yeah, if you were the Bronco.
No, I don't think Dan will do that. I don't think I'd do that. I don't think that doesn't have any merit to do that. I did that during the season. It didn't work. But, you know, you're dealing with a different athlete today, too. And, you know, sometimes they don't respond as favorably as you could. Plus, you got to give the other team credit. You know, it's terrible to set up and say, well, the Broncos aren't doing this and they aren't doing that. They aren't doing this and they aren't doing that because of a reason. And that reason is the 49ers offense, defense, and special teams.
Terry, what about some of the play calling? I said the third shovel pass, and they ran a couple of draw plays in that one series. You say establish the deep passing lanes. What about that?
You do what you do best. You play to your strength. Shovel pass is a one-time thing. You don't just shovel pass. You do what you do best. And like when Mike said that, you know, they're giving credit to the 49ers, and they're almost saying, hey, we don't have a way in the world to beat these guys, but don't get away from shovel pass, maybe some screens, but you got to establish what Elway does best. And what he does best more than anything, Brent, is throw the deep ball, deep post ends, deep post corners, options. Get him out. We haven't seen him delay and then run outside. Change it up. The first half, always an offensive coordinator runs his best stuff. Now, we've seen so far their best stuff, and it has been horrible. Second half, let's go to some other stuff.
All right, well, speaking of the stuff, let's find out what's been going on now with the players. And let's check in first with Irv Cross, who's been tracking the Broncos. Irv?
Brent, as you can imagine, the Broncos are really concerned as they filed into the locker room because they're very quiet and very sober, and a couple of players have said they're shocked or surprised things have gone the way they've gone. As a matter of fact, Keith Bishop, an offensive lineman, said, hey, it's not the defense's fault, it's the offensive fault. We haven't done anything. We have to score and keep the ball away and keep the ball away from Joe Montana. Here's what he's talking about. Elway, 6 for 20 in the first half, 63 yards passing, and only 87 yards of total offense. So right now, they're in there thinking sort of like Terry Bradshaw said, let's get the offense going. Let's go to Will McDonough at the 49er locker room.
Well, Brent, I think it's going to Irv Radley very tough for them to try to come back against the San Francisco defense. You know, in the last 5.5 playoff games, including 1989, this defense has given up just 2 touchdowns. Both of them came when their offense was 18 points ahead. Now, I imagine Denver trying to come back today and score against this defense is going to be very tough. Let's go back to Pat and John upstairs.
Well, John, we've seen the 49ers do this kind of surgery on, well, for 3 times in a row now. Minnesota first, then the Rams, and now the Broncos. That's no surprise. Was there a turning point, in your opinion?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think starting off with the coin flip was a turning point. When the Broncos won it, then they got the ball, because I think Elway is the type of guy that has to come out and he has to get something going. And he came out and he was too pumped up. He threw 2 passes. They were both incomplete, and then he really couldn't get anything going. Then I think the other turning point was when the Broncos were down 7-3, and they were around midfield, and Bobby Humphrey fumbled. And then on this play, we'll see it here. You see they're at midfield. They're down 7-3. They take the fullback out. They're going to run Humphrey right into the line here. Now, whether he had his hands on the ball or maybe he couldn't feel it because of those ribs, the ball pops out. Now the 49ers get the ball. And from that point on, the 49ers went uphill and the Broncos went downhill.
Then, in your opinion, secondarily, what do you think, is there a realistic chance to get Denver back into the game?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they haven't proven that they can stop the 49ers yet, and I think that they had to knock Joe Montana down. In the whole first half, they didn't knock Joe Montana down. On defense, they had a tackle, and on defense, they missed 11 tackles in the first half. So there's always a chance, but when it's 27-3, I don't know what it is.
Well, let's throw it deep and hope. I guess that's about as much as you can hope for. Second half coming up. The 49ers leading Denver 27-3.
The Super Bowl. The Packers won 2 straight. The Raiders won 3 times. And the Steelers won it 4 times. But one team has been there 5 years in a row. The GTE team. Once again selected by the NFL to custom design the telecommunications system for the Super Bowl. Bob Lilly, Dallas Cowboys.
2 Super Bowl wins.
Who'd ever forget?
You did.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America, Only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
We love to fly and be true.
So you're into statistics. Well, here's a couple you may have missed. Over the past 5 years, cocaine-related deaths have more than tripled, while deaths involving heroin have nearly doubled. Every year, tens of thousands who gamble with drugs pay the ultimate price. If you don't believe these numbers, come and see for yourself, because here is where they keep all of the final statistics on file.
Where there's help, there's hope.
CBS Sports coverage of Super Bowl XXIV is sponsored by Diet Pepsi. Take a time out for the super taste of Diet Pepsi, the right one. Your Toyota dealer and a winning lineup of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Gillette and the revolutionary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Darkness has settled over New Orleans. As you look down at the Superdome, and darkness settled over the Denver Broncos in the first half. 49ers lead it 27-3. Part of the halftime show was a riverboat featuring our friend Pete Fountain. They couldn't get the riverboat level, but they got the goalpost level finally. Now it is okay.
It is level, and the thing is, the two things you can't play without are goalposts and the footballs. They got a lot of footballs out there, and they had one goalpost. They finally got that one up, and now you got to get that carpet back together. Now, who would have thought? I mean, if the football gods are up there and they're looking down, they'd say, look at this. They're playing under a roof, on a carpet. They're putting the goalpost up and fixing the carpet after a halftime show.
George Toma, the guru of stadium maintenance and field conditions,
It's ready.
done such
All
a
ready to go.
magnificent job.
Right on the button. We're excited.
All right, George.
Everything's ready.
Safe.
I'll tell you, when it's 27-3, though, I wonder who cares if you have a straight goalpost. And this is how it happens.
16-5 in first downs, but down at the bottom, well, it all shows you why the score is 27-3. But look at that time of possession.
That's the thing, I think. You know, everyone's going to say, why didn't the Broncos do this? Why didn't Elway do that in the first half? They really didn't have the ball. We talked. I think that key play for the Broncos was that Bobby Humphrey fumble at midfield when they were just down 7-3.